Hey, my name is Rob, and I fully healed from long COVID. Yup, you heard it right. I 100% am healed from long COVID. And this video is the cheat sheet you need so that you can practice what I did so that you can heal just like me. We're going to be talking about the importance of reducing stress, how our beliefs, our mindset, and our negative self-talk are rooted in our childhood trauma. I'm going to talk about a few of the polyvagal exercises. That's just a fancy way of saying exercises that help calm down the nervous system, and the importance of just having fun and being joyful, even if you're an adult with a lot of responsibilities. There was a study done by researchers at NYU Grossman School of Medicine. Study found that adult patients with major life stressors were at least twice as likely to struggle with brain fog, fatigue, sleep problems, depression, and long-term COVID-19 symptoms. That's why it's extremely important that the first step you take is to reduce as much as you can the life stressors that you have. Are you surrounded by people that don't believe you have long COVID? Maybe they believe you're crazy or it's all in your head. It can be a spouse, it could be someone that's really close to you, but instead of supporting you, instead of listening to you, instead of having empathy, they're critical of you. I get it, I was there. What I personally did was create space between me and those people for now. This doesn't mean that you're gonna hate these people or not like these people. These are people you love. They just don't understand. It's not their fault. But right now, in this stage, it is your job to protect yourself from this negativity and this stress. And if it's not possible to create some space, educate them. Show them my video about long COVID. Show them other videos about long COVID. Show them videos of patients talking on video about their circumstances and how much they're suffering, and how their symptoms are similar to yours. Another thing you can do to reduce your stress is stop watching the news, stop watching media, get off Instagram, get off YouTube, stop watching things that are negative. You want to be on YouTube or watching other videos that are empowering, that are good for you, that makes you feel joyful. You want to do your best to avoid any negativity. I know right now that politics and the war and things going on around the world are hot topic, but these are things that you want to do your best to avoid. You don't need this negativity and this stress in your life right now. I was a nurse. I was working 12.5-hour shifts. It was tough, and I thought I was going to kill my career if I left the hospital. So when I tried to return to work, I just couldn't. The shifts were too long. My fatigue was too severe. My brain fog was too bad. My PTSD started spiking up. I just couldn't do it. I didn't realize now that that was really a blessing in disguise. I was able to switch to another job that was a lot less stressful. It was a 7-hour shift, and I was working with kids, and kids are happy, and they're always playing around, and it's in a better mood compared to a hospital where everybody's sick and in a bad mood. This job had so little stress, but according to my colleagues, I was killing my career. If you want to move up the ladder in my career, you have to stay in the hospital and you got to go get your master's or your PhD. And I wasn't doing that. I became a school nurse instead, but I would never take that decision back. That new job, that lower stress job, allowed me to heal. It gave me time to read books. It gave me time to learn about polyvagal. It gave me time to learn about childhood trauma. So changing your job may be a step you may need to take. I know you're worried. I know you got bills to pay. When I had to make this decision, I asked myself a question. Was I willing to let go of my career for a few years so that I can fully heal? And my answer was a resounding 100% yes, I was. I knew if I continued to be sick, my quality of life would be horrible. I would not enjoy my life. But I knew that if I can fully recover, I can go back to work at the hospital. I could go get my master's degree. I can go get my PhD. Whatever I wanted to work on, I know I could do it. So my mission was to be 100% healed. These stressors that I mentioned are stressors that are in the external world. They're external things from outside of us. But something that causes more stress than the external world is the internal world. The question is, what are inner expectations that you put upon yourself? Do you want to fully recover right now, right away? It's got to be this year. Do you tell yourself, I got to go back to work. I got to go do this. I got to go back to school. I got to do it now. Do you get depressed and extremely sad when you think about goals you haven't accomplished because of long COVID and you beat yourself up over and over again? I want you to accept your situation. Accept that you have long COVID. Accept that you are limited. A friend of mine gave me advice while I was sick, and he told me living with modesty is living within your abilities. It's taking an honest look at yourself and your skills and your physical abilities, capabilities, and live within those boundaries. Right now, long COVID has given you those physical boundaries. And I know it frustrates you. I know you just want to break the chains off of you. But in this stage right now, be modest. Most of us, when we think about being modest, we think about being limited. We think about we will never go back to the life we used to live. We'll never be able to, run or exercise or do the things that we used to love doing. The truth is that you can 100% heal, but you will need to, at this stage right now, live modestly. Live within your limits and accept that. Stop trying to fight this idea. I know the control freak and the perfectionistic side of you wants to predict and control every single thing. But right now, you need to accept where you are and you need to let go and tell yourself that everything will be okay. The second part is about analyzing and becoming self-aware of the beliefs, the mindset, and the self-talk that we have and that come from our childhood trauma. Unlike many other long COVID coaches, this is one thing about me that I am extremely adamant about. I would go watch YouTube videos of certain people that would claim they were fully recovered, and then they would post videos in the future of how symptoms would come back, how they would have horrible crashes. And I asked myself, why? Why did these people have crashes? Why did they always relapse? And many other people talk about the importance of polyvagal exercises. And I believe these exercises are extremely crucial to your recovery journey. But the foundation that you need so that when you do the polyvagal exercises, they are 100% effective. There are three things that we are looking at: your mindset, your beliefs, and your self-talk. And all these are impacted by the way you were raised and any childhood trauma and experiences that you have lived through. Your personality type gives you a clue into these beliefs. Most of us are type A personalities. We are extremely driven, we're perfectionistic, and we're people-pleasing all the time. I was extremely perfectionistic, always. I went to college, I had a 4.0 GPA. I didn't like the word failure. I didn't like making mistakes. I would beat myself up to make sure that I was perfect or as close to it as I could be. The question became, where did this belief come from? While I did a lot of self-reflection, I realized that when I was younger, my parents made sure I was perfect. They would discipline me whenever I made mistakes. They shamed me, made me feel guilty. As a child, this instilled in me a new belief. This belief was that if I was not perfect, I did not belong, I was not loved, and I was not worthy. As an adult, I grew up subconsciously. I had no idea of any of this. I wasn't aware of this, but I continued to live by these beliefs that were made in my childhood experience and trauma. I believed that if I failed at school or if I wasn't perfect in everything I did, that I would not be worthy of being loved. And that scared the heck out of me. So as an adult, I made sure to do everything I could to make sure I was perfect because I was so afraid of not being loved. The truth is that I had to analyze this and ask myself, is this belief that I gained, is it true as an adult? And when you think about it, these beliefs, they're not true, but they have so much power over you. You want to understand it with compassion, analyze it, reflect on it, and using logic and compassion, you want to dismantle these beliefs. You know what else affects these beliefs? Your self-talk and your mindset. If you're type A, you're going to be mean to yourself. When I was perfectionistic, I was abusive to myself. I made sure that I beat myself verbally up so that I would accomplish whatever I had to accomplish. Once I started understanding why I was type A and that these beliefs that I held onto since a child were not truthful, that's when my self-talk started to improve. I started being nice to myself. I started being loving to myself. I allowed myself to make mistakes and that it was going to be okay. I created a new belief that I belong and I'm worthy of love no matter the outcome of anything that I do. I don't need to be perfect. If anything, what makes me a beautiful soul and human being are my imperfections. And in the end of the day, I had to learn to love myself. I recommend a book called The Self-Love Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a dude. I'm a guy from New York. New Yorkers, we don't do self-love. It's not our vocabulary. It's not in our mind. And to be honest with you, I thought this was a little too much woo-woo for me, but I was wrong. I needed to learn what self-love was because I've never heard it. I've never seen it. My parents didn't teach me about self-love, about self-acceptance, so I highly encourage you to pick up a book about self-love. Read the words on the pages. You will feel weird at first. It's okay. Just read it. It won't feel normal the way they talk. It won't feel normal the way they tell you you should talk to yourself, that you should be patient with yourself. That's okay to make mistakes, to have compassion to yourself. It will feel awkward. But if it does feel awkward, you're on the right path. Don't stop. Now it comes to your mindset. Most of the time, our mindset is very negative and pessimistic. You want to blame the world. You want to blame your parents. You want to blame everybody. But blaming others won't help you recover. There's a book that really helped me with my mindset. It's by an author named Morin, and the book is called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. I highly recommend this book. It will help you adjust your mindset. When you are sick with long COVID, your mindset shifts, and that's okay. This is where self-compassion comes to play. You need to be okay with it. This is normal. There may be even a period of grief, but now it's time to pick up that book and make a mindset shift. Change your attitude for the better. Think more positively. I'll give you an example of a lesson in that book. Mentally strong people don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. And for the year and a half that I had long COVID, or almost 2 years, every single second that I was sick, I felt pity and sorry for myself. When I read her book, it changed my mindset. It reminded me that I had to stop feeling sorry for myself, that I had to pick myself up, that nobody was going to come and save me. The doctors, the government, my family, nobody. I only had me to rely on to heal myself. I hope you really see the importance into digging into and understanding our childhood trauma and how childhood trauma affects our beliefs, our self-talk, and our mindset. But we can work on it through daily practice. The reason this is extremely important when it comes down to long COVID is that your attitude towards life, your negative self-talk, and the beliefs that you have, those things are constantly triggering your nervous system 24/7. So you can do the polyvagal exercises all you want, but if you don't do this childhood trauma work, it is extremely hard to have sustainable results. There was a study done by Standard College, and I'm going to read the results. It says, these findings suggest that childhood trauma or early adversity may prove relevant to the development of long COVID via central nervous system. This is a study linking childhood trauma and long COVID. I hope you see the importance of working on this childhood trauma that we all have. The part that everyone's been waiting for, the polyvagal exercises. The most important part of polyvagal exercises is that you must believe. Yes, you must believe. This is not some sort of woo-woo, you gotta believe to make it work. No, the reason you have to believe is because if you don't believe, what are your thoughts while doing the exercises? You'll be thinking, this is ridiculous, this is dumb. How are thinking or my thoughts are gonna help me heal? The symptoms I have are so severe. There's no way that by doing this breathing exercise can ever heal me. And so what ends up happening is that you're doing the breathing exercises physically, but your thoughts are triggering that nervous system. You're creating fear and doubt through your thought. That's why if polyvagal theory does not make sense to you, please go watch my video. And if after watching my video, it still doesn't make sense, this won't work for you. I'm sorry. You need to go do other tests. Try everything else out. Exhaust every other option. And when you're ready to come back, I'll be here. When it comes down to polyvagal exercises, I really want you to look at them as if it was a marathon. If you are going to complete this big race, when you're training for the marathon, you're training every single day. You're looking at your diet, your training plan, your stress level, your sleep. You want to approach polyvagal exercises the same way. And that finish line of the marathon is your long COVID recovery. And you can 100% do it. But just like you train every day for the marathon, you have to train every day with these polyvagal exercises. You don't want to do it once a week, whenever you feel like it, once a month. This has to be a daily practice. Polyvagal exercises are just a fancy way of saying these are things we can do to help communicate to our nervous system to calm down. If you start saying, calm down, nervous system, calm down. Guess what it won't do? Calm down. The nervous system has its own language. I'll give you an example. Whenever you have anxiety, which is a heightened level of your nervous system, you start breathing shallow. Your nervous system is communicating to the physical body how to react because it is scared. It's getting ready to fight or flight. We can use the same technique against the nervous system. If you take long, deep breaths, you can calm your nervous system down. This is a practice. This should not feel easy. Many times, because of my brain fog and because of my chronic fatigue, it was extremely hard to do these exercises. I remember telling myself, how is this the way out? How is it that I have to force myself to do these exercises? And I feel so miserable. I would sometimes fall asleep in the middle of these exercises. And that's where self-love and self-compassion comes. Don't beat yourself up. No need to be perfect. Just do your best every single day. The number one thing I recommend is breathing exercise. Everyone asks me for how long and the specific timing of it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's long, deep, slow breathing. When you breathe in through your mouth or your nose, but make sure you're doing it slowly. Then you take a nice pause and then you exhale. When you exhale, it's extremely important that you exhale through pursed lips. This is how it looks. That's it. And you just repeat that over and over again. I personally would smile while doing it as much as I could, and I would focus on positive thoughts. I would focus on how my life would feel and look like if I fully healed. And you want to feel that joy while doing any of these exercises. I use an app called iBreathe, and you can customize the intervals. The interval I started with was 5 seconds inhale, 8-second hold, and 10 seconds exhale. Make the intervals custom for you. You should never at all feel like you're holding your breath or you don't have enough breath. That will just cause more anxiety and a triggering of the nervous system. This exercise should feel calming and soothing. And I don't recommend doing the Wim Hof breathing, which is a very fast breathing. Laughing yoga. Yeah, this is when you laugh out loud for no reason. I know, you think I'm crazy for recommending this to you, but it was one of the most powerful exercises. When my severe symptoms would come up, I would do laughing yoga and they would disappear. No joke, I'm not kidding. A lot of people that reach out to me, I recommend them doing laughing yoga. And after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I ask them, have you been doing laughing yoga? And most of them will tell me, no, I did not do the laughing yoga. I did everything else. Please give yourself a chance. Do the laughing yoga. I personally recommend somebody called Bianca Spears. You can look up her YouTube channel. She is awesome. Another exercise that was very important for me was prayer. I am a man of faith. Prayer was extremely powerful. It gave me hope. After a while, I couldn't pay for a therapist anymore. So God became my therapist. I would just tell him everything, all the anxieties and worries that I had, and there was some sort of relief from that. I would pray to please cure me from this horrible disease. But I would also say, even if you can't cure me, please give me the strength to be able to cope with this horrible disease. Prayer was something extremely powerful for me. Another exercise is listening to Disney music. The founder, Stephen Porges, of the polyvagal theory, he himself recommends listening to Disney-style music, where there are lyrics and someone is actually singing while there's beautiful melody in the background. Disney spends millions of dollars on making this music specifically for children so that they can feel joyful, happy, and safe. And you can take advantage of that. You can do it anywhere. You can go food shopping, to a social gathering, maybe some place that you know your symptoms will be triggered. Put on some earbuds and just listen to Disney music and smile and smile and smile. Another exercise that I was doing at least twice a day was yoga. Really, it's gentle yoga and gentle stretching. I would only do a few poses that were on the floor. My POTS symptoms were really bad, so I really couldn't do anything much standing or any bending over. I would probably get really lightheaded. what you will notice is that the nervous system is connected to your muscles and to your physical body. So you will notice sometimes you are sore and you've never gone to the gym. You've been bedridden for so long. Why are your shoulders so sore? Why are my hip flexors so sore? And it's because your nervous system tenses up these muscles because it believes it's in fight or flight. Yoga is a beautiful way to communicate to your body and to your nervous system that you're safe, that you can relax the muscle. So while doing these stretches, hold these positions, smile, learn to enjoy it, feel joy, and focus on your deep breathing. This won't be easy because your body is extremely tense after living with long COVID. Another important factor is socializing. You go to a big event and your symptoms return full blast. And now I'm telling you, you need to socialize. There's a few caveats to this. You want to spend time and socialize with only people you feel extremely comfortable with. When I was recovering, I would make appointments, set up dates with my friends to spend time with them. Usually it was a very small group, 1 to 3 people. And it was only people I really felt comfortable with. And sometimes you'll notice that socializing with certain people, your symptoms disappear. This was true for me. And then when they would leave my house or I would stop spending time with them, my symptoms would come back. And this is explained by the polyvagal theory. When you're socializing, your nervous system believes it is in a safe space. So it doesn't give you symptoms because it doesn't believe it's in danger anymore. Be intentional with the people you spend time with and try to make appointments or dates on your calendar. I wouldn't do this too often, but maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. And don't be afraid of your symptoms. If your symptoms come back after you stop spending time with them, it's okay. Do and trust the polyvagal exercises. Remember, these exercises are communicating to your nervous system that you are not in danger. Another exercise that I really relied on is visualization. I really want you to think about a time in your life where you felt amazing. You felt so good. Go back to that time. For me, it was running this half marathon in my hometown. And the last 3 miles, I got this blast of energy coming into me. And I felt so good. I was so excited because my family was waiting at the finish line and I was just running on this runner's high. I want you to imagine that feeling and I want you to practice feeling that while visualizing your future, while visualizing that you are 100% recovered, that you are food shopping again, you're spending time with your loved ones, you're running, you're cycling again, going back to the gym. And while visualizing these positive future events, feel that feeling of that moment in your life that you felt so good. This last exercise isn't really a polyvagal exercise, but I put it in here because I think it's extremely important. And that is building up your hope, building up your faith. You should be watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts of people that have recovered or are recovering in their journey. This will give you so much hope and give you so much belief that you are on your way to recovery, that it is possible, despite these weird and horrible symptoms, that it is possible to heal. Remember that these beautiful polyvagal exercises, you should be doing it daily, just like that marathon runner that trains every single day. You want to try these polyvagal exercises. Look at which ones you enjoy the most that give you the best results and do them every single day. Do them around stressful events or triggering circumstances. Do it before that. Do it after that. These exercises are methods of communicating to your nervous system that it is safe. Another extremely important factor of this recovery journey is learning to feel joy, learning to have fun. Because of our childhood trauma, we don't want to have fun. We believe that fun is dangerous. We believe that fun is useless. We're adults now. We can't have fun. Those beliefs are a lie. It's extremely important, especially for your recovery, to feel safe, to feel joy, and to have fun. I remember I used to beat myself up when I used to play video games. I said, oh my God, I'm wasting my time, but I enjoyed playing video games. But once I learned about self-love and self-compassion and the importance of feeling joy, I played more video games. Once you start digging deeper into self-love, you'll start feeling more joy. And let me tell you a secret. You don't need to earn your joy. More importantly, if you're feeling joy, that means you're not feeling in danger. Find something that you enjoy and do more of that without feeling any guilt. I hope that this video has helped you and in your recovery journey. You can heal. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for the encouraging and loving comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. And if you like this video, I think you'll like one of these as well.